Day 3 of, are we on? Shh. There we go. Oh, there we go. We're on. Day 3 of sleep deprivation out of 6. I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning and actually got out of bed at 3:30 a.m. But I did something different this morning. I usually would make my tea and coffee and then sit down and write. Whoa, girl. Excuse me. Hey, I'm busy. Be quiet, please. We're back at it. So I would usually go out of bed to the kitchen to make my tea and coffee before then sitting, as you see me now, and writing my morning pages, which is something I have started doing. I wouldn't say started doing, I've been doing it for a long time. What I would say is that I have named it morning pages. And the reason I've named it morning pages is because after watching Dochi's The Artist Way, it is a 12-week vlog series that she does of her working through this book called The Artist's Way. And it was really insightful. So if you like Dochi as an artist and you like seeing someone's journey from, where they were to how far they've gone, definitely give that a watch. It was posted approximately 6 years ago, and the journey she goes on is pretty wild. 1 week she's happy, excited, curious. The next week she's furious, and the next week she's back to being peaceful. It is really quite an interesting watch. So that I would invest for sure. But last night was 5 hours of sleep, or under 5 hours of sleep actually. And so I would usually make my tea, my coffee, sit down and do my morning pages. But this morning, I actually had the thought of, I need to go have a shower straight away. And the reason I did that is because my brain was telling me that it would help perk me up, that it would somehow help me get chipper. And for the first 2 hours of my morning, I absolutely was. So if you ever doubt the power of what a sleep can do, I am first half evidence. I am a primary source that it matters and it is powerful. So there's that. But I feel as though I've had so much time this morning, and part of my reflection in my morning pages was about a reel that I saw and how the person in the reel was essentially saying, yeah, I get you're tired, but you need to think about your 24-hour block as multiple days. And they said your work day is day A, then there's a 4-hour period after work, which is your second day, and then obviously the nighttime is your third day. And I really felt that. I really feel that this morning, because being out of bed since 3:30 and not needing to leave the house until 8 a.m., that's a whole day. That's 3.5 to 4 hours of being awake before needing to be somewhere. And that is a long time. I spent an hour of that, an hour and a half of that actually, writing, Peaches and I have done a little bit of stretching. We've already been outside so she can go for a little gander. I've also had a meal, which is new too, because obviously it's quite early. But in terms of symptoms, right now I feel pleasantly okay. I've hit a little bit of a slump now that it's mid-morning relative to the time I've woken up. And I felt chipper when I woke up this morning, which was a surprise. I thought I would feel grumpy. But in saying that, I will do another check-in later because I imagine the situation will become a little bit more dire later on this afternoon. And today is a big day in that I have training tonight where I'll be coaching. So this sleep deprivation is going to be a test of how I can still perform under fatigue. How can I still show up in the ways that I need to show up when I struggle, when I'm struggling. And I chose this hard task because I know that Harry's is going to expect and ask a lot of me. And I want to be able to show up in all the ways that I know that I can, because I'm not going there just to participate. And I think any athlete that signs up for another event can sit with that same line of thinking. The competitive spirit does not leave you. So the fact that I've signed up for something is I'm going to go and give it my absolute all. And that is the aim with Harry's King of the Hill. It's to max out and not be able to run another lap. So part of that means I could be running for days on end, and running days on end every hour on the hour means that is going to be leaving little time to rest, to sleep, which is why I'm doing this. And my history of concussions and migraines adds a little bit of flavour, a little bit of nuance into what that looks like and how I navigate that, which is why I'm documenting the process along the way, because I think it's important to recognise and understand and even educate how important taking care of your brain is, taking care of your mind and your brain and the physicality of looking after it. And I think there is a lot of untapped data and research and potential and opportunities for educating clubs, players, schools, teachers, everybody about the impacts of having a head injury and what that means for returning to and integrating into your life at a normal functioning capacity, because I have a lot of experience with having to do that. So do not underestimate the importance of sleep and how that impacts your brain. When you sleep, your brain is filtering through everything. It's your waste bucket, your vacuum, right? It's cleaning out, it's your automatic cleaning system. Think of it like your robotic vacuum, which cleans up throughout the night while you sleep. You set and forget it. So if you are getting enough sleep, your brain is actively and efficiently cleaning out its waste. But if you're not, which at the moment this is part of me not achieving that, it's important it's important for me because I'm hyper aware of my body, what's going on in my body and what that looks like and feels like and sounds like, so I can document the process. But for someone that maybe is just getting through their day and more on the side of the spectrum of surviving as opposed to thriving, you might not know what the signs are. You might not know what the symptoms are. You might not know what to recognize. And I am in no way saying that what my symptoms are will align with you or you will experience the same symptoms, but there are a whole range of symptoms that you can experience. And I think just raising awareness for that, giving an account of what it looks like when you haven't slept and what that impact is on your brain could potentially help someone else. But for now, we're on day 3 and we're feeling pretty positive about the day. So I'll check in at a later date.